Hello guys. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn some tips and tricks which are going to help you best control your recoil. Knowing how to control your recoil is one of the essential things to getting better at a game like PUBG Mobile, because when you miss your target, you are dead next. So stick around till the end for the tips and tricks. The first and most important tip is your sensitivity. Having the best sensitivity is key to controlling your recoil. I am a full gyroscope player and this is my sensitivity. You can copy mine if you want. But I recommend finding your own perfect sensitivity by adjusting your favorite player's sensitivity. I have my third-person no scope set to 300. That is the sensitivity when I am not scoped in. When I set it to 1%, nothing happens when I tilt my phone. So I'm going to set it back to 300. I set it to 300 because I don't want to tilt my phone too much when hip firing. I also have my first person no scope set to 300 and that is for when I am playing in FPP mode. For the scopes, these are my sensitivity, because this is what works best for me. I have my 4x, 6x and 8x sensitivity set very low because I only use them for sniping. Just copying someone's sensitivity might not work for you due to difference in phone and frame rate, which we will talk about later in the video. So when you have found your perfect sensitivity, come to this targets and shoot for only the head. When you see that your bullets are going above the target. For an example, I'm going to set my red dot to 31. And as you can see, the bullets are going above the target. When that happens, increase the red dot sensitivity in steps of 10 or 20 till you get the perfect sensitivity for your red dot. And if it is still going above the target, just keep increasing it. Keep increasing it till you now feel like you can control it. I am going to set my sensitivity back to 300 because that is what works for me.
Nice.
Now put on a 2x and repeat the same steps to find the perfect sensitivity for your 2x. Same as I did for the red dot, I am going to reduce the sensitivity of my 2x. And as you can see, it is difficult to control the recoil. I am going to set it back to 300 because that is the sensitivity that I can control the recoil of my 2x. Put on a 3x and do the same thing to find the perfect sensitivity for your 3x. Always remember to shoot for only the head. I only use my 4x for sniping, but when I want to spray down enemies with 4x, I usually set it around 270 to 279.
Nice.
For 6x, always dial it down to 3x. When you do that, what happens is, your 6x now takes the sensitivity of your 3x. The 6x is one of the best scopes out there, as you have the ability to switch between 3x all the way to 6x. The next tip is one that I have mentioned, which is aiming for the head. The head is smaller compared to the body, so as you shoot for only the head, this improves your accuracy and makes shooting for the body more easier. So practice your recoil control by shooting for only the head. Practice this every day and you will see your accuracy start to improve. Move from target to target all the way to the 100-meter target. This makes you better at controlling the recoil at each distance. Change scope and continue to shoot for only the head to get better at it with all the scopes. Do the same thing for the 3x. The next tip is to not pick up any attachments. As you can see, I don't have any attachments. Only pick up an extended mag to practice your recoil control. I know controlling recoil without any attachments is a bit hard, but that is what you would want anyway, so that when you are finally able to control the recoil, it becomes so easier with all the attachments equipped. This way you don't have to be worried in game that you don't have any attachments, because you are already good controlling the recoil without them. The next tip is crouching as you shoot. Crouching reduces your recoil by a ton, especially when shooting at long-distance enemies. So try to incorporate crouching in your game style and you would see a huge difference in your gameplay. Crouching also reduces your hip-fire recoil in close combat fights, so learning to be familiar with the crouch button has a more added advantage. Shoot at all the targets and when you are comfortable controlling the recoil while crouching, switch scope and do the same thing. Remember to always aim for the head. Now switch scope and repeat the same thing going all the way to the 100-meter target. You can also practice your crouch shooting at 100 meter and 200 meters on these targets to get better at long-range shots. The next tip is peeking. Peeking either left or right when shooting reduces your recoil but not by much. You will find that your recoil becomes even more messed up when you introduce peek. It's because you are not used to peeking, but trust me, I have been there. Once you get used to peeking, you will see that it helps in controlling your recoil. So peek left or right on the targets and start to shoot all the way to the 100-meter target. And as always, practice it with different scopes. And the last but not the least tip is your frame rate. A phone with a higher frame rate will be easier to control the recoil than a phone with a lower frame rate. I use an iPhone 7 Plus and the highest frame rate I could get is Ultra, which is 30 FPS, but I am still decent at controlling recoil. So the higher your frame rate, the more easier and smoother it will be to control your recoil, and the lower your frame rate, the more difficult it will be to control recoil. But you can still control the recoil by practicing. So keep practicing and you will get better at it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And do comment down below if you find this helpful.